afternoon. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching us BQ on Bloomberg Quint Live. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza.
Hi Navneet, and I'm Alex Matthew. Well, if you've got questions on equity, then this is the perfect show for you. You can send those queries to us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and WhatsApp. And you can also call us on 022-454-04141, or you can mail us on askbq@bloombergquint.com. Just make sure to add the AskBQ hashtag.
All right, but before we get to the individual queries on the show today, let's tell you what's happening with the markets. It's an important day. You've got the April series, which expires, and we did see that short covering bounce yesterday coming about just in that last hour of trade, and the gains continue today as well. Nifty's trading above the mark of 11,750, and that's the mark which will be watched out at least today for the expiry, whether the expiry happens above the 11,750 or below, because the options data is suggesting the 11,750 strike has been seen a lot of OI addition both on the call as well as the put side. That's the 11,700 put for you. Of course, on the downside, we would be watching out for that mark as well. The broader markets are also trading in the positive territory. You've got the mid-cap as well as the smaller cap index, which has seen good gains. The small cap index is up now 0.6%. Let's just see the market breadth, how that's panning out, because that gives you a picture of the entire listed universe on the exchange. As of now, it's firmly in the green, but it has narrowed down a bit, as you can see it on your screen. In terms of Nifty contributors, let's just pull up that list and tell you where yesterday it was supported. The gains were supported by HDFC Twins and Reliance. Reliance once again is topping the list, contributing nearly 14 points to the gains, and well, Ultratech Cement, Grasim are the other ones, and HDFC Bank continues to do well. What's capping the moves on the upside are stocks like Infi. Bharti Infratel has reacted negatively to its numbers, but let me tell you, the day belongs to the cement stocks. Ultratech Cement, after posting a very good set of number yesterday, is up, and Grasim is up, by the way, because it holds 60% stake in Ultratech. So you're seeing the moves coming about for that. India Cements is up 5%. Some of the mid-cap cement counters like Deccan Cement, India Cements, Orient, JK, you name it, and all of them are seeing substantial gains coming about. On the losing side, you've got stocks like Idea, which is down. It's also in the F&O band. Remember, we've got an update that the rights issue was oversubscribed. Quick Heal is the other one, which is down 5.5%, and something like Indoco Remedies, which went up in last hour of trade yesterday, is witnessing some sort of profit booking. But the good news, Alex, is this market now is being supported by the cool off that we've seen in India VIX, which was surging in the last few sessions. But today and yesterday, we've seen a cool off of good 7 to 8%.
All right, absolutely. Well, that's how markets stand as of now. Let's get our two experts in for the day. We've got Ashish Kelkar of Kiran, Jadhav and Associates, and Sandeep Jain of Tradeswift Broking, who are here to answer all of your questions. You know, Navneet, I got a call, actually a message earlier, at the 7 o'clock show, and we have one of our viewers who is quite keen to have one of his queries answered, so he posted it there. I'm going to give him precedence today because he posted his query at 7 o'clock. Gaurav Jaggi, thanks so much for writing in. Kalpatru Power Transmission is the company that you want to know about, and you're asking about the fundamentals. If I look at the chart, and if I look at the one-year chart, I see that the 52-week low is at 267, just around the end of the calendar year at the start of November. It's gained significantly since then. Sandeep, are there any causes on a fundamental basis for the run-up that we've seen in the stock? And is there a case to enter this counter for the long term?
See, somehow I'm not very bullish on these type of counters. Very frankly, when it comes to infra stocks, I've been very cautious since couple of months, in fact, couple of years. And Kalpatru Power is certainly has done well in the last few sessions, because it has also corrected from the highs. Now it is almost coming closer to its 52-week highs of 508. So I think it can be a buy on declines, but not a buy at this period. And somehow I feel that the results have been good, and the growth has been seen. As you said, what is the reason behind this rise? So there were quarterly results, and I think there is a good expectation also from the quarterly results this time also. But still, I will try to avoid the stock at these levels, and I will look for some other bets in the power sector or the transmission sector and the infra stocks. Yeah.
Okay, stay away from Kalpatru Power is the call coming in from Sandeep. Our next query comes in from Mayank Saraf, and he's been keeping a very, very close watch on Kennametal. He updated us yesterday that it's hit its 52-week high. I think the stock's also at its lifetime highs in today's session, up another 2%. He's pretty much convinced with the fundamentals of the stock, but he wants a technical view. So let me go across to Ashish and take a technical view. Ashish, it's trading around its all-time high levels. Last 12 months have been good for this company, but if somebody wants to continue holding it, what sort of levels they can watch out on the upside?
Nonit, can you please repeat the stock name?
Sure, it's Kennametal. It's trading around the level of 1265. Kennametal India.
Right. Okay. So the chart structure overall is very good, and it has got the upside potential as well. The next target which I can see on the chart is around 1325. This is the first target which I can see. So definitely I would recommend to hold on. At around 1300, 1325, from there the stock may correct, and this correction will be a healthier correction for the stock to go up further. And in this corrective mode, the price can come down to around 1220, 1225. So, but that will be a good correction. So I would definitely recommend to hold on with a strict stop loss of 1220 on a closing basis. The first target is 1325. Once it crosses 1325, definitely it would test 1400 within next 2 to 3 months.
Okay, well, we've got Rajesh Babu, who's bought a couple of counters. HDFC Life at levels of 430. The stock, if I'm not mistaken, is close to that 400 mark. And we've also got Sun Pharma, who's he's bought the same counter at 516, and that stock, if I'm not mistaken, is just around that 466 mark. So I'm going to go to Sandeep on this one. Sandeep, two counters, he's seen a bit of a correction in these two counters. Sun Pharma, of course, a lot of people have, but he's asking if we should average. Have these two counters lost sufficient ground, do you think, for there to be a case for averaging, or is patience the other or the better option here?
See, as far as pharma stocks are concerned, somehow, I have been recommending some few names from this particular sector, and in the large pharma names, Aurobindo Pharma really looks good to me, and in fact it has done very well in today's session also. And I feel that the kind of fundamentals the company has and the kind of growth the company has been showing, I feel it's still, there is some steam left in the stock, and somehow, it is a good buy on decline stock, and even one can start buying at these levels also. So Aurobindo Pharma is a good company where he can average. Sun Pharma, in fact, it's not necessary that, if you have got losses or if you have Sun Pharma in your portfolio, you have to make good the losses from that particular stock only. You can have some other stock also in the same sector where, you can actually make good your losses. So I think Aurobindo Pharma can be a good name for that. Ipca Labs, in fact, is a very good name. Then Suven Life. These 3-4 stocks we have been recommending. And then FDC, actually it has also corrected, and at these levels it looks very attractive to me. And what was the second stock we were talking about?
We were talking about HDFC Life, Sandeep.
Yeah, see, these life insurance companies certainly are good bets, but HDFC Life, ICICI Pru, and SBI Life, all these three are the best players in the segment. And somehow I feel that, one can go with SBI Life, and the kind of, rural penetration the bank has, SBI, the promoter has. And I think, SBI Life and the valuations also are attractive. On the parameters, generally we see the insurance stocks. So I think SBI Life can be the best bet. Then HDFC Life is again a good hold. There is no problem about holding it. But then all these stocks have to be, held for a longer term of view. So that's my submission. One has to be a long-term investor in insurance stocks.
Okay, let's move on and take our next query. This one comes from Sivakumar. He wants a technical view on Titan, a company which has been doing pretty well. In fact, in today's session, it's hit 52-week high, and also it's trading around its life high level. So good going for this one. Last 1 month, it's up about 20. On calendar year basis, it's up about 25%. Let me just get a technical view. Ashish, Titan at 1158. If somebody wants to continue holding for the next 1 month, what would you advise them to do?
Definitely, I would recommend to hold on because it has just given us a breakout of ascending triangle pattern formation 2 candles prior, so daily candles prior. So definitely my recommendation on technicals would be hold on. If someone wants to add, yes, definitely a fresh position can also be taken in this particular counter. Someone has already bought, for him the stop loss would be different. So the current stop loss, if you are holding the stock, would be 1120 on a closing basis, and my first target on this counter would be 1228 for the first target. So definitely hold on, and if someone wants to buy this counter as of now as a fresh position, the stop loss would be same 1125 on a closing basis, and the first target would be 1228.
Okay, we spoke about this yesterday. In fact, Ramanuj Zawar has a question about Sterlite Tech. I just want to pull up the intraday chart to see how it's trading today. It's down about 0.9% today as well. The reason really, he's asking for it. He's suggesting that it was a good set of numbers that they reported. The problem, Ramanuj, and I think what a lot of people took issue with was the fact that they reduced their outlook for their margins for the second time in 2 quarters, and I believe for the third time over the last year or so. And now their margin outlook stands at 18 to 20%.
You know what, Alex, I was just reading yesterday what's also concerning the street for Sterlite Tech. Of course, it was going through that hyper growth phase. So he categorically said we don't expect ROCE of 34%. It could go down. But I guess the promoter holding, which is there of 55%, about 90% is pledged. Maybe that's the reason that's concerning the street. In terms of numbers, I think, the main takeaway from the interaction was that the margin guidance probably disappointed the street.
Yeah, but then that's definitely a concern.
Yeah.
Why don't we go to Sandeep on this one? Sandeep, clearly red flags in terms of the quantity of promoter shareholding that has been pledged. But on the fundamentals also there are worries, right? Would you suggest someone stay away, and if you're invested, perhaps you can move to something else?
Yeah, it's a very good observation. I was hearing you. In fact, it's actually very right. When there is a promoter's pledge, somehow market don't, appreciate that, don't like it at all. In fact, and in a company like, Sterlite Technologies, where the growth has been so high and the profits are so good and the return on capital employed, return on equity, always so impressive. So it give a, bull run and multi-bagger return it has given. But then somehow I feel that, there are some issues, maybe some issues related to corporate governance also, and some miscompliance also, and then that particular pledging also. So I feel, Birla Cable can be a good bet in the sector to, play on the OFC, the optical fiber segment, which is actually a very big segment, in terms of, the government has been taking good number of initiatives relating to the consumption of this particular sector. So I feel Birla Cable can be a good bet as a good alternative.
Okay, that's Sandeep likes Birla Cable as opposed to Sterlite Tech. Birla Cable not done too much, however, in the last 6 months. Okay, let's take the next query. This one comes from Vignesh. He writes to us on YouTube. He wants a short-term view on Jindal Steel. He's bought the stock at levels of about 189. Let's just pull up the current price. He wants to know whether he should wait for the bounce back or he should just exit now. And by the way, the stock's at day's low. It's currently down by almost 2%. Ashish, what would you suggest him at 189? Should he wait it out? Can he get back his buy price, or he should just book losses and exit his position?
See, if we look at the daily as well as weekly chart, it has already given us a rally from a level of around 120 to a level of 190. So after such a steep rally, definitely there has to be a correction, and that is what is happening as of now. In fact, it has given us a trend reversal price pattern breakout also at around 180 level. So this is a bullish sign. So this correction is good for the this particular stock to go up further. So that's the reason why I would recommend him to hold on with a strict stop loss of 163 on a closing basis. It has to take a bounce back from these levels is what the charts are suggesting. And the first target for this particular counter would be 190, which is near about his buying price. If this particular counter crosses 195, then that will be again a fresh breakout of the flag formation, which will have a target of around 215. So definitely, as of now, hold on with a strict stop loss of 163 on a closing basis.
All right. Well, Shalom Ranga, as is his wont, has identified a few stocks that he wants to know about. Sandeep, this one is for you, and I'm going to club a couple of other queries as well. Yosef Kale wants to know about 5 mid-cap companies. I won't hold you to that, but he's looking for a long-term view. And
Even Anand wants to know.
We have another,
mid-cap.
yes, exactly. So we have another Anand Sivaguru who wants to know about a few mid-cap companies for the long term. So I'm just going to tell you the stocks that Shalom has picked up. Majesco, First Source Solutions, L&T Infotech and Tech Mahindra. In case you don't find any of these up to the mark, you can identify them and perhaps give a few more ideas in the mid-cap space.
Oh, what a coincidence. In fact, I have written LTI only. I thought it must, jump onto me. So when you talked about mid-cap names, so LTI, L&T Infotech, today also we have recommended from our brokerage house. RCF, again, you and I have been recommending, it is not doing well, but then I really see a good risk-reward ratio. So downside risk is very low. One can really look at. Then FSL is again a good bet. Majesco, somehow I don't keenly track the stock, and somehow I feel that, FSL is a very good option, which I have recommended. Tech Mahindra is again, it has done very well post buyback, and it has actually corrected also from its highs. So now, at these levels, again, it's a good buy on decline stock, and the valuations really look attractive to me. So Wipro is again a good, buyback story. So I'm just taking this name because, somehow I feel that one should really get ready to apply through all their family names, because, there is a good opportunity in Wipro buyback, and there can be a return of around 8 to 9% expected in this particular buyback story. So one can look at Wipro also, which is a large cap, not a mid cap, but then somehow I feel that when I'm talking about Tech Mahindra, I should also talk about Wipro. And then TCS is again a very great bet, in fact, in particularly the IT sector. So all these names can certainly be looked at.
All right, people who are playing Wipro through buyback, just for retail investors, the acceptance ratio for you all is different. So watch out. Up to 2 lakh of investment, they are taken separately. Definitely, you could make some money, as Sandeep suggested, but be wary of that. It's not that you buy 100 shares and all 100, they get accepted in the buyback order. So be careful of that. Okay, I want to take Titagar Wagons. Let's just pull up that stock. Krish wants to know if technically it's a good entry level for this one. The stock's down over 40% in the last 1 year. Ashish, would you advise somebody to buy it on technical basis?
Which stock?
Titagar Wagons. It's trading around 65.
Right. If we look at the overall chart structure, it is continuously making lower tops and lower bottoms, and still there is no trend reversal pattern breakout which has happened as of now. So definitely I would not recommend a fresh entry in this particular counter. If someone is holding this particular counter, there is only one positive thing which I can see on the chart, and that's the reason why I would say ki hold on. This positive thing is it is forming a base over here. If this base is violated, if this important level of around 63 on the closing basis is breached, then it would go down further to a level of around 52. So this 63 is very important level for this counter. So hold on with a strict stop loss of 63 on closing basis.
Okay, we've got another for you, and this is an intraday question. Ashish, this one is for you. M&M Financial Services. We've got a viewer, Gautam Chopra, who's bought earlier this morning at levels of 431. If I look at it, the stock is currently trading at 422. And it has lost about 2.5% in a trade there as of now. If I look at it, I think the low of the day is about 418, so it's off the low. So what is the strategy really that he should employ if it is to be an extremely short-term view?
If it is extremely short-term view, then I would recommend, by looking at the shadow indicators that I use, they are from negative, they are becoming neutral. So if he has a risk appetite, he can definitely hold on till 315. The stop loss for this particular counter as of now should be 418.5. And if this level is taken off, then definitely immediately you should exit from this counter. On the higher side, if it crosses 424, then there is a probability that it can again retest 430 levels. So watch out for these two levels. On the lower side, 418.5, and on the higher side, 424. So if either of the level is taken off, then he can take a decision.
Okay, M&M Financial came out with the numbers, good set of numbers, but the stock seems to have corrected from the highs of the day. Queries coming in on Aditya Birla Capital, Ayush as well as Razin. They want a long-term view. Sandeep, I'm going to come to you. They have a good time horizon of between 5 to 7 years. Would you advise somebody to hold this stock in the portfolio?
See, it can be a good hold, in fact, because somehow it has actually corrected from the listing price, and it's a very widely held stock somehow. It's a very common question generally people been asking in all the seminars or all the meetings somehow. But then I feel that it's a kind of holding company which has got around 7 to 8 different segments wherein the revenues are coming from, and then NBFC is the major segment in this particular company. So, and in the recent past, NBFCs were not doing well, but then again they have started recovering. So the prices also recovered from its lows of 77, 78. So I feel that one can certainly hold on to the stock, but I won't recommend to average the stock. I would certainly like the investor to opt for something else in the BFSI segment and average or try to make good the losses of this particular stock.
Okay, let's pull up D-Mart and look perhaps at the year-to-date chart because you will see that there's a substantial correction from the highs that were seen in the calendar year of 2019. Stock is up about 1% in trade today, but this year, as you can see, it's down about 16.27. Right at the end, you can see just about a little bit of an uptick. But we've got a question on D-Mart. I believe it's from Ridish Shah, who's looking for a technical view. I don't think that he has entered the counter yet, Ashish. So is this a good point? Is this a good level for the short term with regard to the technicals?
See, this particular counter is facing a steep resistance at 1360. Till the time this counter is below 1360, so I would not recommend a fresh entry in this particular counter. If this 1360 level is taken off on the higher side, definitely there will be a strong pullback rally which can take the prices to around 1430 odd levels. So in that case, in a short term or positional view, someone can have a good gains within 3 to 4 trading sessions. So wait for this price to cross 1360, then only I would recommend to enter into this counter, not now.
Okay, that's the view coming in on Avenue Supermarts. There have been a lot of concerns with regard to the valuations of this company. Alex, did you know it's the most expensive retail company in the world, by the way?
Wow.
So you value all these retail companies by price to sales.
Right.
D-Mart trades at around 5.6. Look at Walmart, it's under 1.
Wow, okay.
Okay, let's move on and take a query on Federal Bank. Rangarajan Balakrishnan has written to us on Facebook, one of our regular viewers. Thanks a lot, Rangarajan, for writing it once again. Ashish, if I could come to you, he wants the target on Federal Bank and his time horizon is next 5 months. What would you advise him? What should be the target? And also if you could help him with the support or the stop loss if he's holding this position.
Definitely. See, this particular counter has given us a rally from a level of around 78 to a level of 100. And after reaching at 100, it is consolidating. And this 100 level is very important because it has also tested the same, near about same levels in the month of January 2019. So this 100 is very important level for this counter. Once this 100 is taken off, this will be a fresh breakout of a flag formation, which has a bullish implication. And in that case, the target for this particular counter would be around 122 within next 3 to 4 months. So definitely my suggestion is hold with a strict stop loss of 91 on a closing basis.
Okay, we've got Raja Krishnappa Hanumappa who's asking about Associated Alcohols. It is just about 425 crore market cap company that operates distilleries and breweries. Sandeep, if you track this counter, if not, would you like to suggest another name in the space that he can look at for the long term?
Somehow I don't track this stock, and I don't track this sector also very keenly, but then somehow, as a professional advice, looking at the technicals and fundamentals, we have been recommending Radico Khaitan. Somehow the stock has not been, a good performer in this whole rally. And looking at the non-performance, I feel that the risk-reward ratio also is good now. And the stock has actually done well in the past. And now, the kind of brands the company has launched and the kind of acceptance the company has in the markets also, and the level at which the market cap is, I feel that, there is a lot more steam left. And one can certainly look at particularly Radico Khaitan. And the other stock can be IFB Agro, which is into IMIL and which is also into this aquaculture products also. So that can be a good stock. But the leader certainly is United Breweries. One can certainly hold on to that stock and buy on declines, United Breweries also.
All right, well, that's the view on the entire alcohol space. Let's get into the rapid fire segment now. This is where we try and slip in as many queries as possible to well, just a reminder to our two experts, keep your answers as short as possible. I'm going to start with a short-term query. Manikant is looking for an intraday target for Ultratech Cement, which he bought at levels of 4,650. Ashish is making just a bit of a gain, if I'm not mistaken. Stock is up at nearly 6%. What should he do?
Hold on with the 6 stop loss of 4600. The earlier high which was made at 4686. If it is taken off, then definitely it will test around 4720.
Ashish, one more query on Ultratech. Somebody is bought at 4526. He wants to know if you should book some profit or hold on till 3:15 p.m. today.
Definitely hold on till 3:15 till today. Till 3:15 today.
Okay, let's look at LIC Finance, Housing Finance and Canfin Homes. We're looking for the support levels for the short term, Ashish. LIC Housing Finance and Canfin Homes.
LIC Housing Finance, the most important level for this particular counter is 489. If this level is breached, then definitely it would go to around 460. So this is very important level. If someone is holding, keep a stop loss of 489. The second one is Canfin Home. Canfin Home, this particular counter is also in the correction mode. For this counter, the important level is 306.
Right.
Sandeep, would you advise someone to do SIP in HDFC Bank and HDFC AMC?
HDFC Bank is certainly a better bet than HDFC AMC. I talked about HDFC AMC in the show only, but HDFC Bank is certainly a good SIP candidate.
Would you recommend, Sandeep, in that same vein, Max India and Max Financial? Gautam Chopra is wondering whether he can look at it for the long term.
No, somehow, if he has not entered the stock, then I would certainly ask him to, go with HDFC Limited and HDFC Bank combo, which looks more attractive and more safer to me.
Ashish, technical view on Apollo Tyres. If somebody is already bought, can they look to hold on to the stock?
Definitely, Apollo. If somebody is already holding the stock, I would recommend to hold on with a 6 stop loss of 204 on a closing basis. On the higher side, the first target which I can see on the chart as of now is 217.
All right. Well, unfortunately, and I was running through all the queries that we haven't managed to take. I'm so sorry, guys, that we're completely out of time. I'd like to thank both our guests, Ashish and Sandeep, for helping our viewers with all the queries that they didn't answer today.
Okay, but remember, we're just a tweet, post, or a call away. So keep your queries coming, and we promise to address most of them through our shows. And for all previous episodes, visit our YouTube channel or also our website, bloombergquin.com. Stay tuned. Up next is Powerland.